Hello students, today we're going to have a math talk on measuring. Here's a picture of my parents, Mrs. Wright's parents, Mr. and Mrs. Hackner. They were teachers, actually both of them teachers of mine in school, and they taught for 34 years in Central Illinois at the same school district. My mom was a home ec teacher, so she taught students life skills such as cooking and sewing. I didn't get much of her trade of sewing, but I can bake pretty well. And then my father was a construction industrial arts teacher. So he would teach kids how to build items, and actually he's most known for building over 30 houses in our community. This one on the far right was the last project that he did with students, and it actually was a house that my mom and dad now live in. And we actually lived in three houses total. Building trades students had built them for us, and this was the last one, his last final huge project. He has been helping my husband and I do our basement, so he does do small projects, but that was his last large project that he decided to do. When I told them that I was going to become a math teacher, they both were like, please make sure you teach them real math. A lot of what we do does connect to real math, but I'm going to just break it down today of what they mean about real math. So some examples, we talked about construction, cooking, and sewing. We also use measurement with temperature, time, distance, and weight. Today we're going to focus more on what like a tape measure or a measuring tape would be like. Make sure that you click on this video and you watch this in present mode. It is a short video, I'd say it's less than 3 minutes, on how to use a tape measure. Home Depot made it, is very well done, so make sure that you watch that. I'm going to break this down for you just a little bit. The largest marking on our customary units right here is the inch mark. It doesn't always have a 1, it will just have a whole number. Then we take the next tick mark, and it's half of the distance from the inch mark to the next inch mark. And you'll notice that the line isn't exactly half the size, but it is shorter than the longer mark, and it's halfway between. So that's your half inch. Then we have half of a half, which would be fourth. So we have 1/4 from here to here is 1/4. 2/4, 3/4, and 4/4, we make a whole. All fractions have to be reduced down to the lowest terms, so keep that in mind when you're measuring. Then we're going to have half of a quarter, which is an eighth. So now you'll see that we have 8 total marks: 1/8, 2/8, 3/8, 4/8, 5/8, 6/8, 7/8, 8/8 makes a whole. And you will also notice that they are getting slightly shorter. We can break that down. Half of an eighth would be a 16th. So you might notice that the denominators are also cutting in half. So the bottom numbers are cutting in half. So now we have everything down by 16ths. We should have 16 total marks from here to the end. Some students don't realize that if you were measuring something, for example, this blue object right here, it goes halfway between the 8th and the 16th. And that would actually be 30 seconds. So in this case, this would be 2 and 5 30 seconds. So you can always double your denominator again. Typically in the classroom, I would draw this out with you and you would copy it down. So if you'd like to copy it down somewhere safe, go for it. I did draw out. Again, the whole numbers don't have to be 0 and 1. This could be any whole number, so this could be 10 and this could be 11, and you would still have the same measurements in between. You would just say your whole number first. So if this was 10, this would be 10 and 1/16, 10 and 1/8, 10 and 3/16, etc. So all my numbers in the black are the lowest terms. All the numbers underneath would be what they are equivalent. So 2/16 is the same as 1/8. 2/4 is the same as 1/2. 4/8 is the same as 1/2. 8/16, same as 1/2. So these are equivalent fractions underneath. Again, you just use the lowest terms when you're measuring. I did not go ahead and break down the 30 seconds, but if you were to go ahead and add the 30 seconds, it would be every other line. Again, by the end, you would have 32 over 32. And then again, writing down the equivalent ones as well. So take a few minutes, pause, jot that down. Some other fun facts that I learned is the top numbers when you're talking about the lowest terms are always odd. The bottom numbers are always even. I'm going to show you some of the activities that you can do. If they don't both work, that's okay. Just do at least one of them. But Quizlet, if it works for you, you'll click on it. There are some flashcards that you can practice and study. There's also other activities that you can test out. And then there are two games, a matching game and a gravity game. The gravity game is a little bit more challenging. I will show you both. So we'll start with the matching game. We'll go ahead and start the game. And what you're going to do, it does time you over here, but what you're going to do is you're going to match up the fraction with the picture. And then they disappear if you got it correct. 15/16, that looks pretty close to that one. So that's all you do on that one. And then you can hit the back button. This might pop up, just go ahead and exit out, click back again. And then I'll show you the gravity game. I'll just leave the settings as they are. So it's going to show something coming down and you want to try to read it before it goes away. So that's the fourth half there, fourth there. It's going to go away before I can read it. Too slow. I'm going to show you what happens when I'm too slow. All right. Oh, it tells us the answer. So 5/16, 1/16, 2/16, 3/16, 4/16, 5/16. So what I was trying to do is use like the marks that I know here, 1/2, 1/4, and then go from there. But if it's easier just to count to the 16th, that's fine too. All right, again, that may pop up. You're going to hit back again. And then the flashcards, if you're interested in those, they just practice with you. This is what 1/16 looks like. This is what 1/16 is. And then you can play, shuffle, options. All right, let's go back to the activities. There's one other one called the ruler game. This one's kind of fun. Down here you have options if you want it to the nearest 16th, 8th, quarter, halves, or whole. I'll go ahead and leave it on 16ths. You can have the timer on or off. And we're going to start the game. It says 9/16 here. So you're going to count over. I think it's right there. All right. 2 and 3/16. So we're at 2, 1/16, 2/16, 3/16. I'm going to show you what happens if I run out of time. Now we know it would be, actually 3 and 15/16, it would be here. So actually I'll put it in the wrong spot. So did you see what it did? It gave me an X. So what happens, and I got another X. And I'm just show you what happens. Game over. 3 strikes, game's over. So if you put it in the wrong spot, it's going to tell you game over. Or if you run out of time, if you're using the time, game over. Okay, and it'll give you a score. And again, the level. So earlier when I was playing, I actually got up to probably level 5. I think it maybe gets a little faster or maybe a little bit more challenging. I can't remember, but best of luck to you on that. Again, you can change these before you start a new game. You can change your level, and again, turn this off, and you can start your game here. Okay? All right. It's kind of addicting. All right. You guys have a great day. Hope you learned a little bit about that measuring and the RealNet.